So what is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another video on the channel where today I want to take a look at a cipher in Classified, which is a list from Richtofen telling the Pentagon exactly his requests and what he wants. As we know, Richtofen and the Pentagon made an agreement where Richtofen would give the US information about Group 935 and what they were doing. He would tell them about 935's experiments, the creations they were doing to do with the MDT teleporters, a zombie hood for the Nazis, the wonder weapons that they were creating, and in return, the Pentagon would save some of Group 935's employees. Since the World War was coming to an end, and because Group 935 were working with the Nazis, once the war was over, Group 935's members would be arrested or killed, and so to save them, Richtofen made an agreement with the US so that some of them could work for them. There was also other reasons as well. There were things that Richtofen didn't tell the Pentagon and they later found out that actually Richtofen was using them. He told the exact same information to another group as well, and he was playing off both of them, as Richtofen would usually do. But this whole agreement between Richtofen and the US was called Operation Stapler. And in this cipher, Richtofen has sent them a few requests on what he wants them to do for him. So as always, this cipher was solved by Rich Killer and Coldstone the Gamer. If you want to check this out for yourself, I will link it down in the description. But once solved and translated, this cipher says, classified, the 23rd of March 1946. Memorandum for file, subject, Dr. Richtofen's requests. Operation Stapler. Number 1. The following is a transcription for record of Richtofen's requests. For Operation Stapler to go into effect, these stipulations had to be met. Number 2. This list specifically details Richtofen's personal demands. It does not specify scientists recommended for acquisition. So this is a list of all of the things that Edward wanted. The first one was a portrait of Richtofen to be hung in the Pentagon. He also wanted 1 American baseball signed by your Babe Ruth, 20 of your American dollars, 10 pennies, 4 nickels, 2 dimes, 2 quarters, 4 ones, 1 fives, and 1 10. 1 of these American hot dogs I've been hearing so much about. 1 American teddy bear, speaking of, ... Teddy Roosevelt's mustache from cold storage. I know you have it. 1 polarization device to be constructed, coordinates to be specified, a titanium cog of my precise specifications, J. Robert Oppenheimer's chalkboard, not cleaned, build a nice flower garden outside of your Pentagon facility, it desperately needs colour, and President Truman's hat. So that is a list of all of the things that Richtofen wanted from the Pentagon. This finally explains why the portrait of Richtofen is in this facility, because Richtofen requested the Pentagon to put this here. If the Pentagon wanted information from Richtofen in return, Richtofen wanted a portrait of him to be hung in the building. So that explains why it's there, and we even see in the classified intro cutscene, when he gets teleported here, he finds the portrait, it is on a slant, and he puts it right. So that finally explains that. He's also got a few weird things in here that he wants. One of them is a polarization device that he wants constructed, and he said he will give them coordinates. And as we know, all throughout Black Ops 2, after Richtofen took control of the zombies, he wanted the transit crew to activate these polarization devices in Green Run, Die Rise and Buried to allow him to gain full control of the ether. So it's possible this polarization device Richtofen asked them to build is the one we see in Green Run. This was possibly built by the Pentagon, as Richtofen knew he would need it after he took control of the zombies. He also asked for J. Robert's chalkboard, and we see this along with his workings on a few different maps. And then, like I said, there's a few other weird things as well, like an American hot dog. Maybe he wants that because he's been hearing so much about it from Dempsey. Teddy Roosevelt's mustache, Truman's hat, a flower garden outside of the Pentagon because he thinks it's dull. It's actually quite funny, and this is very similar, or it reminds me of a cipher that we also had in Gorod Karovi. This one also seems like it's from Richtofen because it says things to get and do. Now, it's not as specific, it doesn't really say a name or anything like that, or why this person wants these, but it says things to get and do: duct tape, rope, eggs, finish reading that book, poultry, nails, saw, world domination, bleach, compressor, onions and boiling water. It sounds like this is from Richthofen because he says he wants world domination and he needs to finish reading that book. That book could be the Knorrium, and we've always known that Richthofen has wanted world domination, more his Ultimus version than his Primus version, so the book maybe could be Richthofen's diary if it's talking about the Ultimus, but this was in Gorod Karovi. If it was Richthofen, surely it would be the Primus Richthofen. I don't know, it kind of sounds like it's from him, but this one doesn't say. This one's a lot more random than the one we had in Classified, but even still, it's a cool little reference, and this is just a very interesting and weird cipher. So that's pretty much all of them in Black Ops 4 that I've made videos of. There's like one more in Classified that hasn't been solved. I think all of the others in all of the other maps are pretty much finished, so hopefully the final one in Classified gets solved and it's interesting. As always, if you have enjoyed the video, drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, goodbye.